Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. We're gonna have ourselves a Terran versus Zerg on the map Blueshift, and I'm very excited to cast this one. If you didn't look at the title or anything, you don't know who these two players are gonna be, because one of them's on a barcode, the other's under another alias. But spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map, the Zerg player, it's SortOf. The Swedish Zerg recently just got back from Korea after training there for quite a while, to my knowledge. And his opponent, which is going to be very hype, spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map, it's MarinelorD. Now, if you guys follow the StarCraft 2 scene a bit, you may say, well, MarinelorD retired a while back, and apparently he's been playing a bit of StarCraft 2 lately, which is just awesome to see. I'm a big sucker for paying attention to the scene, and whenever someone who used to play a lot comes back, I just have to watch it. I have to cast it. If you check the recent videos on my channel, you'll just see that it's like, oh, look, he casted Dong Regu, and oh, look, he casted QXC, and other things like that. So whenever there's a returned player, I just have to cast them and watch their replays, see where they're at. So it's a Terran versus Zerg on Blueshift, and MarinelorD, I mean, he's been grinding it out a little bit lately, which is exciting to see. Now, as far as the build goes for SortOf, it's definitely worth noting that he did go for a spawning pool before that hatch, so a bit of an aggressive build here. Just going to be sending out those few lings around the map, and now we'll see, how's MarinelorD going to be able to deal with this? Because, I mean, it is one of those builds, and I mean, you got to have a pretty crisp timing in order to deal with this sort of thing, so we'll see. Is MarinelorD going to start a Marine after his Reaper, which is something that's more in the meta than it used to be. I mean, early pools used to be a lot less common, but then they sort of became a bit more common. So we'll see, is he going to keep his Reaper at home? Because SortOf is moving across the map with these lings here. He's going to want to try and get some damage done with these guys, as they are going to try and delay or even cancel that command center. And it does look like MarinelorD is moving out with his Reaper here. So, I mean, if we zoom out, we'll see. I mean, Reaper. Oh, wait, the Reaper, did it actually see those lings? Oh my gosh. That's actually, wait. Okay, yeah, the Reaper, it actually did see those lings. I guess it just jumped up there just for a different pathing scout. So that's actually so huge for MarinelorD, because that Reaper could have been on its way across the map right now. So, but SortOf, on the other hand, still may be able to get the reactor here. It's going to be close. If he gets that, it would be huge. And he does force the cancel. So he delayed the CC just a little bit, but getting the cancel on the reactor is a very nice blow. It's also messing with MarinelorD's timing a little bit, but this was a bit of a commitment from SortOf, so that could have been a lot worse for MarinelorD. And I mean, that's just the fact that this Reaper jumped up here and just caught the tail end of those lings he would have seen. It's absolutely huge. So now SortOf's opening that could have gotten a lot of damage done did not do that. So now he's just going to have to macro up. Now, going for the early pool sets the Zerg player back a little bit. I mean, you're not building the hatchery as quick. You're not going to be able to squeeze out your drones at the regular timings. But it doesn't set the Zerg back a massive amount. It's not like SortOf's in a ton of trouble because of this, but he's not in the most comfortable spot as if he just macroed up normally. Getting the reactor was sort of like a consolation prize, but so good hold there by MarinelorD. He's now going to be able to go into whatever build that he wants to do. And we are seeing a tech lab that's going to be swapped from that barracks onto that starport. So we could be seeing a cloaked Banshee here. And it looks like that will be the case. Now, Banshees are something that have been around in StarCraft 2 for a long time. Players have been making cloaked Banshees for, once again, a long time. So we'll see how's SortOf going to be able to deal with this. Now, MarinelorD is sharking around with his Hellions. Actually, maybe distracting a little bit, planning on going in with them, with some more of them. But yeah, he is sending those Hellions back. So we're not going to find too much with these. MarinelorD does want to micro these, get them out of there, because Ling speed, it is delayed because SortOf, he did actually commit to that earlier pool without the gas. So MarinelorD actually trying to catch one of these queens, and it looks like he does get the queen. Good micro there, but he will have to pull out because Zergling speed is just about done here. He may be pushing his luck. He is now retreating. Meanwhile, an Overlord getting into the main base for SortOf. It did dive on in there. It sees the cloak researching. MarinelorD has the one Banshee for now. He is just committing to the one from the looks of it. And then he'll see what he's going to be able to get done with that. SortOf, I like the Spore Crawler at the front. It will help defend from a push. with these Hellions, because this is a lot of Hellions out of MarinelorD, so we'll see what they're able to get done. The Spore Crawler could be a little bit exposed. I mean, the Banshee can focus it down before it finishes, and Queens cannot transfuse that, so this Banshee will be able to cloak in just a minute here, and then that can help push these Queens back. So the cloak going down there, and suddenly that's a lot of DPS just working away on those Queens. MarinelorD trying to force his way on in here. So far, just able to push back his opponent. A lair is now on the way here for SortOf, so he's planning on transitioning. The Banshee's going to get not too much done. I mean, he killed off a Queen, but really just losing a Queen to a push like this, it's not that big of a deal. But then again, it's not like this was the biggest commitment from MarinelorD, as he did follow this up with a third CC, and he will be playing mech, going double armory, so this is a pretty greedy follow-up coming out of MarinelorD. Now he's just got these Hellions for his map control, but it does look like SortOf wants to macro away from this position. The Banshee, I mean, what, it killed off, like, we've seen 3 Queens go down, which is pretty decent. The first one to the Hellions, I believe the second one to the Hellions, and the Banshee's there. So a bit of damage done there, but once again, nothing too significant. Now, there's always the potential for later Hellion run-bys. Some Lings. Oh, they're actually getting away there because MarinelorD's coming on in here. Good Banshee control, actually forcing that Queen back. Going to be working away on some of the drones. Maybe able to circle back, and yeah, actually baits that Queen out. Going to be able to get the Queen, so that's a nice pick off there. Meanwhile, he's poking on the front. SortOf does get a Scouting Ling into his opponent's base, which is a very nice tell. He identifies it's mech and double armory mech. There's actually a lot going on in this game right now. Hellions poking at the potential 4th base location to actually get one of the Queens there, as the Lings haven't dived forward to help it. Meanwhile, the Banshee looks like it got a bit of damage done there. Actually, no, it literally just killed the Queen. Worked away on the extractor, but then had to pull on out because of the Spore Crawler. So yeah, so I mean, MarinelorD doing a bit of damage here and there. He's now floating over his 3rd CC. He's macroing up, and he's actually going into a double Thor drop, which is something that's just awesome to see here. Now he's got the double Medivac. He's got 1-1 on the way. SortOf also has his upgrades on the way, but I mean, he did scout the double armory, so he may want to put on some aggression, but for now, these Hellions are just doing such a good job for MarinelorD, poking and prodding. He's abusing the mobility, and the fact that there hasn't been a potential catch here for SortOf. The Roaches will definitely help push this back, but the Banshee also in here too, so here, or MarinelorD trying to pick off this 4th. The Banelings are rolling forward, there's the Roaches, but it's going to be close whether he can or not. There will be a transfuse from this Queen as long as the hatchery gets on up there. So looks like that he won't be able to get to space. And meanwhile, a counterattack getting on in here with these Zerglings. A Thor's in position. Depots get raised, so this won't get too much done. Actually, it might not get much of anything done. Looks like 2, maybe 3 SCVs going down there. But in the end, it does get cleaned up. And now there's these double Thors in Medivacs that are going to be moving out. SortOf's answer to this, he did get the infestation pit, is going to be these swarm host here. However, I mean, these Thors are coming on in, and they just want to shoot down this weakened base. We'll see if they're able to do that, as Hellions are actually coming on in to join this too. So a bit of a fancy push here. Oh, a bit of a miss micro there from MarinelorD. Just lands right on top of those Roaches, taking a bit of unnecessary damage there. This one Marine moves out to the north to battle for that watchtower. Will beat that Zergling, or it should do. That was actually really close. That Zergling had +1 armor, and that really helped it out. Now the Banshee's clearing up some creep. So MarinelorD being very active on the map, and I mean, he's looking pretty good so far. He's like, guys, I think I checked, and he's like rank 20 on the ladder or something, which is always impressive. Maybe, I can't, don't quote me 100% on that, but he's playing a very good game versus SortOf right now. Banshee's out on the map, gonna find some Queens, gonna get shooed away by them. They were just busy denying creep, but these Thors are still dropping around, and while this is going on, MarinelorD's transitioning. Now the Thors are dropping, he's gonna get out with them. And still not taking too much damage there. He does have to be careful for this counterattack. Unloading the Thors, Hellions coming on in. So a lot going on in this map, but there is this wave of Locusts coming in. However, SortOf wrongly assuming there's a 4th base. There is not. So he's just got to go into the natural, but these Locusts will actually time out relatively quick here. They'll be able to get a few SCVs, but nothing too major. Hellions able to clean up the ones on the front. Now the Thors are still out in these Medivacs, so they can try to go in again maybe, but no. Actually, just bringing them back to help defend. As looking at this, it looks like SortOf is really planning on getting on in here. Banshee's putting out some good work. Queens are the only source of anti-air. The tanks aren't sieged. I mean, they're pretty good in straight up fights versus this composition. They're all right. Thor's landing, though, will definitely help us out, but the next wave of Locust could be a problem here for MarinelorD. SortOf at 180 supply, up in that regard. And there's that wave of Locust. The tanks in the back may be able to help hold on, but we're going to need to see some good medivac micro. And actually, all those tanks siege right in time to eat 3 corrosive bows. They're picking them all off, so it looks like SortOf's getting some good damage done here. MarinelorD is lifting up these Thors to keep him alive. However, the next wave of Locust is going to be very problematic for the Terran player here. I mean, yeah, I mean, just these Locusts, there's going to be another wave out in just a matter of seconds here. 12 seconds there, so we'll see. How's Hero, or MarinelorD, pardon me, not Hero Marine. I've almost made that mistake a few times this cast. And there is partially a reason for that. His ID is Gabe the Beast. So that's partially why I'm making this mistake. Now, Infernal Pre-Igniter is going to be out. It will be done just in time to help deal with these Locusts, which could definitely be a big help. Hellbat's not bad versus him. Locust trying to focus down one of the Thors there, but good repairs and whatnot. The tank's actually standing strong, so MarinelorD does hold off that wave, and that was a very critical wave for him to hold. He's getting up a 4th base while this is going on, getting up that planetary fortress there. I also apologize if there's any background noise, guys. Now, these Hellions, or these Hellbats, pardon me, gonna try and deal with this next wave of Locusts. They're sort of just flying overhead. Maybe gonna land and get an SCV or 2 here. No, not, well, maybe. Doesn't quite get anything. Now, SortOf still being very active on the map right now. We see these tanks and Thors still being pushed back here. Taking a straight up fight right now is a little bit concerning. Okay, so it looks like that MarinelorD will be able to push back SortOf for now. I mean, SortOf still has this mobile unit composition, so MarinelorD is taking losses here. Now, so far he's doing a decent job keeping units alive. I mean, the army on the ground for SortOf, while that's more mobile, it's still not that large. He does have to worry about this wave of Locusts, though. I mean, there's so many swarm hosts on the map right now. 21, and that's really the army. That's about it. But I believe that wave did get in there and get a few kills off. Pardon me while I look at the swarm host and not the Locust. But it is Blueshift, so it's a smaller map, so SortOf really keeping the pressure on right now. I mean, we see MarinelorD wants to keep pushing back these swarm hosts. However, SortOf's looking pretty scary right now. But I mean, mech, eventually if it does max out, it can make those scary endgame pushes. MarinelorD's 50 supply away from being maxed out. He has his 4 bases up though, which is very important. But the next wave of Locust looks like it's going to be getting ready to get on in there. Hellbat's doing a good job cleaning up most of it. And now we see Thor's actually going to be landing on top of these tanks and everything, just landing right on top of some of these swarm hosts. Looks like that SortOf did a good job not using all the Locusts, so there was still a few to defend. But oh, the 4th base for MarinelorD actually went down there. Apologize if there is any background noise, by the way, guys. Now we see command centers are getting up for MarinelorD, so I mean, he wants to hit this comfortable mech stage. However, this Zerg army does just keep on pushing and pushing. SortOf's doing a good job right now. He's working away on this command center and may actually be able to get it. MarinelorD's already lost 1. He can't afford to lose another. SCVs are repairing. That CC does stay alive now. MarinelorD, though, I mean, he's been at 150 supply, or yeah, 140 to 150 supply for so long. He just hasn't been able to max out. He actually made his 4th base in orbital command, which is a bit of a mistake because there's nothing, because it can't stand on its own versus these Roaches and Ravagers. I mean, it can lift off, but there's actually so much corrosive bile here, it's probably going to go on down. All it takes is 1 or 2 more, and it is going to be going down. It looks like that some Hellbats will be dropping on these Roaches and Ravagers, and will be able to clean them up. However, MarinelorD's under a lot of fire right now. He may just have to go with everything, but I think it looks like it is just going to be too much for SortOf. So I think, well, I mean, MarinelorD, he tried to hit this scary mech army, SortOf just did too good of a job pulling it apart, picking it apart, and then, I mean, he's going to try and push in, but this is a pretty big wave of Locusts coming on in, and every unit that MarinelorD loses is one that he can't replace at this stage. So it does look like that SortOf will be able to take it. GG gets called. I mean, awesome game there. Very well played by SortOf. I mean, it's awesome to see MarinelorD after being back. Well, I don't know if I should use the term being back. After playing just a few games already at such a high level, it's always exciting to see. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy the cast, feel free to leave a like. I do apologize. There might have been my dog barking in the background there a little bit, nephew screaming, things like that. But yeah, so if you guys did enjoy the cast, feel free to leave a like. If you enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe, as I'm always putting on more. And I don't know about you guys, but I will be watching BlizzCon tomorrow. Well, the global finals, same thing, right? See you guys next time.